So they don't today expect a return. So it's a grant. So it is given based on very specific criteria, and that is monitored and assessed as you go along and as you receive your money. So from a kind of return, it's not expected monetary wise, although you do need to be, that's part of the kind of the qualifying criteria beforehand, and that's why the project and the business that's it's associated with needs to be seen to be disrupting a very large market. It's looking like that may actually change. That Innovate UK are looking now to get some element of fund recycling. So it will actually change to rather than grant funding alone. But what those returns look like, we don't know at this moment in time. So it's something that in the future we'll probably see change.
Okay, thanks. Darren, how much does the university and Unlimited and some of these others, just very quickly, if a bunch of them don't expect anything, which ones do?
So none of the ones that I deal with do. So the university doesn't expect any financial return unless unless it becomes a university spin out. I don't know full details about university spin outs, but in those scenarios, they're passed on to research and innovation services departments or commercialization departments within unis, but they can do some really great things for research and making sure they turn into good, viable businesses. But that's outside of my own team. So the Evolve Fund is just pure grant money. All we look for is that the money is spent on what they pitched for, that it goes towards scaling their business in some way, shape or form. So we look for them to provide an impact report to their business, really. So that I think with the same with most bids, so like Arts Council, our funding and Nesta and things, they will, if you're providing some kind of social impact for that to be measured somehow, so some evidence in the outcomes, what geographical areas that impact has been made in, testimonials, that kind of thing. But there is no, for Unlimited at least, and the Arts Council, there is no financial return for them.
Yeah, okay. And I think that's probably similar for a lot of universities, is that it's a grant, they don't expect financial return. Although I think there are some universities that do take a small equity stake in the business. None that I can think of that expect a return. It's just, I think it's just a signal that the business is taking it seriously. I think
Cambridge do that. The University of Cambridge have got an investment set up with their finance as well.
And Dave, what kind of financial return? You went into this quite a bit, I think, in your little talk. But what as a basic do you expect as a financial return when you make an investment into a company?
We charge a flat rate of 6.5% per annum, regardless of amount, length, term of loan or perceived risk. You'll find most social investors fall somewhere between 12 and 17% APR. We're about 12.3% APR. If you're looking for investment in community shares, probably around 5% a year flat rate. And if you're getting investment from a tax relief investor, SITR, CITR, they will get 5 or 6%, depends upon the scheme, relief on the amount invested each year. So we'll probably only look for another 1 or 2% on top of that. Make a turn on it themselves, then you can probably expect another 1 or 2% on top of that as well.